Hi folks, this is Hariom for our C webinar. In the next part of our videos on facilitation, this time we are going to talk about weight bearing. Right? It's a common technique used in, throughout India. If you go to any center, they will use this technique. So what is the common posture they will adapt in case of upper limb is you can keep your shoulder in extension and probably some amount of retraction, elbows in extension and wrist also in extension with your fingers in abduction. Or you can also have it like this, it doesn't matter much, right? So what's the idea behind this is, in BNF they assume that these joints are compressed, that is your wrist, knees, your elbows, your shoulder joints. So whenever a joint is compressed, say for example if this is compressed, they think that it gives you an information to your brain because it's a sensory information. You know that for any sensory information you get a motor response, and the motor response they thought was it will activate the triceps, and in case of your wrist, probably your wrist extensor, so that all your wrist extensors are working. We also know that when one group of muscle are working, the other group of muscle are inhibited, so that they thought that the flexors are inhibited, right? So what's the value of this exercise? So we'll try to understand what is the physiology behind this, putting this in posture. And the first thing is, most of the time we think that there is a flexor attitude, that is spasticity is in these muscles, that is the flexor muscles. So they keep it in the opposite posture like this and try to wake up. So what they are assuming here is these muscles are inhibited, that is your flexors are inhibited, and your extensors are activated. Now we will try to understand what's the physiology behind it. If I am sitting like this or if I am in this posture for, say for example, for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, what do you think will happen? One of the common things in neurophysiology is called as accommodation. You know what's an accommodation? If there is an information, sensory information is going from here, all these information is keeping on going. And if this information is going, it should activate some muscles. But if you are in the same posture for a long time, right? If you are in this posture for a long time, whatever sensory information is going, it's not going to get you are not going to get a response. That is, you are going to get an accommodation. So we already said that these muscles, that is your flexors, are overacting. That's what they commonly think in case of stroke, right? These muscles are overacting and their posture is like this. So if you keep it like this and put your patient in this posture for some time, they think that, or what you will see is accommodation happening, so that these muscles are not activated. After some time they get relaxed. That's why if you put this patient in this posture and if you remove the hand for quite some time, the patient will have probably a posture like this rather than like this, right? But remember, there are 2 points to remember in this. This accommodation, what you are getting, is for a limited period of time. That is, your half-life period for this particular accommodation is very, very small. Sometimes you will see that when you remove it, and if your patient is currently having a jerk, it may go back to that posture. Or if he is looking at something else, he may go back to his posture, right? So that accommodation is very, very short-lived. Right? So in conclusion, what you want to understand is, this weight bearing exercise works on the idea of accommodation, and it doesn't help you in learning, right? It does not help you in learning to relax these muscles. If you are putting the patient in this posture for even for a longer period of time, that accommodation does not get into learning. You want to refer the earlier videos about learning theories and things like that. So don't be confused if the value of putting the patient in this posture is for a short period of time. And also remember, the next thing you want to remember is, this is a passive posture. There is no active involvement, that is, the patient is not involved in the treatment in any way. except for just being in this posture. The active involvement is very, very less. So it is very difficult for a patient to get reduction in spasticity, or these muscles are relaxed and these muscles are going to activate it, and then he is going to do these movements. These are all very, very, very iffy assumptions. We have found out to be very little evidence to have value for these things. Thank you.